So let's see, we are starting the stream. And hopefully everyone can hear me okay. We'll see. Have to tweet out that we're live. And I think that we will be doing authentication using magic links. Okay. Quickly going to make sure to share it around a few different places. All right. If you're in the chat, do sound off. Let me know that you're here. And I guess I'll proceed with what I was doing before starting the stream. Actually, I'm gonna hydrate. Okay, so Magic Link login. I've set this up so I can send an email. That's essentially what I've set up so far. Let's see. Let's make an auth module. Let's call it authentication so I know which of the auths it is. So familiar authentication do. So request authentication would be give me an email, and we would, so I've added Bamboo for sending email, so then it's a matter of generating a code, magical code, and then exchanging that for a proper login. So that would be this. Now there's a ton of ways you could do storing these codes. I guess one of the quickest ways would be to use an ETS table. So I'm gonna take a look at that as an option. So let's see, set. Yeah, so it's a set we want. Don't care about the order. Yeah, we could try an ETS table. So ETS.new. I wonder, is that a no-op if it already exists? I don't remember. I use ETS so infrequently currently. Creates a new table and returns a table identifier that can be used to subsequent operations. The table identifier can be sent to other processes. Yada yada yada. Oh, we'll just try it. And it wants name, magic tokens, and I want to pass the options. So types can be set. Yeah, so set. That's probably all I need. If I do that again, I get a new reference. So that's probably not what I want. Where is? So get table. Yep. If case, I like a case. ETS dot where is magic strings set get undefined. I need to create it, so that's so that would be this, that would be that. Cool. And otherwise I would get a TID. So actually, what is the new return? I don't think it just yeah, okay, it either returns a TID or an atom. It's fine. Oh, right, I can make it a named table. Or I could just give it a name. That's one of the slightly weird things I find in that's fine. So let's insert TID, and then if I remember my it's just a tuple. So this would be up here. So we want to insert magic string and email here, and we don't have magic string, so let's create one. Generate magic string. So making a crypto random string. This is usually what you end up with. So let's do that. we'll actually want to sort of do something to codify the email in there. So the token part would be, let's see. How do I want to do this? 128 pipe into crypto.strong round bytes piped into base 64.code. It's a little bit long for my taste. 2 30. Would 15 actually be? Oh, right. So maybe I'll want to crank the entropy on this one a little bit, having more randoms. So if we want to turn the email into something, I know we can do SHA-256 in Erlang. So just hashing. So I should be able to just do hash SHA-256 and then email. I'm not entirely sure that will work. Let's try it. Well, if you're watching, let me know. Say hi. Get it out as a binary, so I guess I wanna basics for my code. Then I should be able to just string it. So if I want to grab just the first part, I don't remember. Let's check the docs. No. Slice. Split. There we go. So let's take the first 8 of that. Hope that's enough. Just keep the head. And then return token. So let's So that should put a magical thing in our ETS table. So then we would return this magic string. And request authentication email. When we do that, we would do and then do familiar dot mailer dot or email login email. And now we will want to build a link here, which would be start with this. This is not how we're gonna do it, but hey Pedro. Welcome to the stream. Let me know if you have any questions. So what I'm doing right now is adding, I would say the login flow. I haven't added anything like a user so far or anything like that. No session handling. And I haven't decided if I'm going to be using Phoenix GenAuth for some of this, because it does add sort of some of the auth stuff. But I think I would end up ripping most of it out again. So I'm not convinced I want to do that. It does give you sort of email changing forms and stuff. Guess those are good. Okay, so this wants an email and a link. Message is what that is. And then there's familiar dot mailer dot. What does deliver later do actually? So I'm using Bamboo, which is an Elixir mail abstraction. And there. So what I'm curious about is this. Yeah, typically I would say use deliver later, because that would send the email out of band from this particular function. But actually this would let me know if there's an error, if we failed to send a login email. So I think that's pretty convenient. And we can make it one of those. So this should send that, and let's do this. So if and do. So if I for some reason haven't configured my mailer, I actually would prefer it if it still was usable while developing. So That's what I'm doing. And now, if I do familiar.authentication.request authentication email, and go, yeah, it's Lars@underu.io that wants to log in. That threw an error. That's too large. First argument, not a non-empty list. So I call head here. String split at does not return. Yeah, okay, it returns a tuple, so we want lm0 instead. There we go. I think the email was sent. It's this magic login true link. Don't like that. Generate magic string. Oh, right. That. Oh dear. Nil? What's that about? So, okay, that's... Alright, the split at is probably splitting at the middle of a grapheme. That's no good. I need to sleep. No, okay, so something went screwy here. And it was with the hashed email, so the split is definitely causing some kind of trouble. Wonder what kind though. Oh, wait. I'm not base encoding it, so it's binary data. Yeah. So now I think we get a valid link. And we just haven't implemented that endpoint, which is fine. Cool. Let's implement that endpoint. So let's take a look at our router. So I think a pipeline can just further pipe through browser and then acquire that. So all this stuff protected, while I would like this. To just pipe through browser and should be able to get magic login. Token. Login controller. Index. There we go. I think I should be able to do that. I'm not entirely sure. I don't do multiple scopes that often. Might need some kind of adjustment. Actually, I'll just copy this because there's some boilerplate. So login controller. So I can remove this as well. So let's look here. So this plugs Auth and should be able to get session here. Con is logged. Let's just go with the user email. So if get session user email, then we can set it's logged in equals true. Later on, can set that. But if there's no user email set at all, I would go with send response 4 of 3 not authorized, I believe. As always, if there's questions, let me know. Forbid. Okay. So this is one I don't remember. For one, unauthorized response should be used for missing or bad authentication. Yeah, okay, so that's authentication versus authorization. So we're definitely at a 401. Unauthorized. And that needs a con. Cool. So what do we want to do here? We should be receiving... Can I not do that? All right. We can repeat these. Doesn't matter. No. Okay, and let's see. That was not what I was going there to look for. I want to look at token. Don't think the login controller is undefined anymore, but let's see. Token. Token. And then I want to be able to do a familiar.authentication.authenticate and pass that token. Then I should be getting an email, but we haven't implemented that part yet. But let's finish up what I think this should be doing. So then I want to take the con, put session User email was what I called it. User email. Email. Then I would want to do a redirect. This is an annoying thing. It doesn't autocomplete this here. It does here, I think. To. For now, we can just redirect to slash, because this should turn it into an authenticated call. And then this should be, all right, con. So let's see. This should now probably, this flow should now work up until some point. Now I did hit that, so maybe we do this like that. Move this one up there. So if we're trying to do to follow the magic token, we don't end up there. Unauthorized. But I do get redirected, it seems, so let's see. Right. If we just hard code this for a bit, it returns something. There we go. Okay. So it was returning nil, which would be dismissed by the auth. Okay. So I do need this part. So I think you should be able to arrive at the website without being logged in. So just returning, so this, not quite good enough. So let's do that instead. Now we're actually gonna have to clear the cookies because I think we're absolutely permanently logged in now. So now we could let this feed part redirect you to login, I guess, if you're not logged in. Or yeah, I guess slash here. So do that, and in the login controller, I should be able to do And here we need to render some templates, which is annoying. Could do this with live view, I guess. Do find that more convenient, so maybe we do that. So the idea now is just to build a very basic login form to make that login request. So we can actually check the session, and if the user is logged in, I think we would, if is logged in, do let's see, what can we actually return when we're starting a live view? On the mount. So let's just build a socket, because that's what we're gonna have to do. So if we're already logged in, we want to redirect to the user to slash. So push redirect, I think. Socket to slash. I'm not gonna bother with the niceties right now. While if we're not logged in, we can just go socket, because there's not much we need to do on this one. So could do pub/sub dot actually that one will have to wait. Cool. So that's that. Let's clean those up. Handle event. Log in. I expect an email socket. I think that's it. Hey John. Welcome to the stream. Let me know if you have any questions as we go. I'm currently doing some building of authentication. So I wonder if push redirect will be enough. I don't think it will, because for the first one it will be. see. Actually, for this one, I'll just use proper redirect. But we'll have to use a proper redirect later for because we're dealing with sessions, and sessions don't get updated over the WebSocket. Okay, so okay. So we can start with this, and we need to make a template as well. So we have something to look at. Hey Ashutosh. Yeah, we're in text, so you will never be able to explain to me how your name should be pronounced, but it looks rad. Good question. The question is, what are you making? And I am making. The idea is to have somewhere to share photos and videos and maybe other files for sharing with friends and family, where I don't really want to put it on any big social media platform. And I don't want to have to figure out, like, okay, does this picture go to 3 people on Signal, 2 people on Telegram, 1 person on WhatsApp, which I've uninstalled, some just have SMS, 3 people are on email, and the rest are on Facebook, which I don't use. So I'd rather just sort of bootstrap the whole thing off of email and be able to just nicely post pictures to some place where they can all access it. That's the big idea. It's not super there's nothing super fancy about it, but I'm not aware of any products that do this, and I'm like, if you know of products that do this, let me know. But I think I have a decent idea of what a product like this could be and should be. So I'm trying to build one. So, right, this should not be a .ex, it should be a .lex. Did I not just change that? Did I fail? Okay, so I'm unauthorized and I go here. Now I get directed there, which is not correct. Maybe I'm logged in right now. Let's see. Nothing in local storage, but it's cookies I want to check. Okay, clear. Okay, I stopped being able to load all the images. That's something. But let's see. So PETAL, that's Phoenix, Elixir, Tailwind, Alpine, and LiveView. If you're in the Elixir space, you might be familiar with it. If you're not working with the Elixir language, I could suggest you check out. So my website, underjord.io, has a section about, I think, let's see, this part. 3 things. And I believe I have an overview somewhere. There's the overview of Elixir. This is a pretty good place to get a hunch of what I'm talking about. If you are familiar with Elixir and just not familiar with PETAL, That's perfectly reasonable. This is a technical post on just getting started with it, while I did have a post on changelog PETAL. So I wrote this for changelog.com, which introduces the stack and sort of gets into the point of it. So I hope that there's not a quick answer to that question, but it's an end-to-end web development stack, essentially, with some interesting choices. Magical login. If we go there, login live.init is undefined or private. Familiar about login live. Okay. Progress. I'm not seeing the input, but that's probably Tailwind. Yeah, that's Tailwind. So if I do lash add and view.io, and I go request login email. No function clause matching, unfamiliar. Right. I think that's because I haven't added a name to the login form. So let's do that. I need more space. Actually, I've constrained myself to space just to make the live stream work. So that's most of the issue. I think if I do that, yeah, okay. So now the live view, not that one, this one, is picking up my email. This should mean that I can request authentication email. And that should provide still provide a magic string, I feel like. The biggest reason to do that is because I want to keep track of this particular browser tab. So I can do this. And I need an @impl here. So def handle info. And I should be receiving, let's call the message authenticated magic string. Oh, authenticated. User data. Something. Oh, that's also a good question. Is it easier to make video conferencing apps with Elixir, like it's easier to make chat apps? Partially, yes. The tricky part about video conferencing is that you end up dealing with WebRTC, and then you need to deal with stun and turn servers, which is super annoying. And there is a very, very good framework for doing that called the Membrane framework. I've done a post on some initial Membrane framework stuff. Let's see. You can just find that one. So this one, there's an accompanying live stream as well, where this video I think was. So that's some of what I've done there. And the membrane gang actually is working on a full WebRTC setup. So I think they have a demo for that. So let's see, that's this one, the video room. This one is a very cool thing. So Membrane puts a lot of nice abstractions on top of working vid with the video aspects stuff. So that's where I would look primarily, and that's all in Elixir. But so Elixir is a live view and stuff. It's great for real time and near real time. But it doesn't automatically solve sort of some of the harder edges of WebRTC for you. But Membrane might. I'm not sure how mature the WebRTC setup is at this point with Membrane. I haven't tried it recently. Okay, so back to the task at hand. Let's say, okay, so we've subscribed to that, and if I receive an authenticated message, I would like to redirect this socket to the slash, because that means this could be interesting actually, because this could mean that a user could actually click the link in their phone while they're logging in their desktop and still get in where they should, which is nice. But currently this is not at all doing what it's supposed to. So let's get the table. Let's do get lookup. So table and the key, that should be the code. And that should give us, actually what does lookup give us if it fails? Doesn't say. That's the crypto module. That's so we might get nothing. And then we can do error authentication failed. Or we can get, I believe we will get both the value and we'll get an object, and an object is a tuple, right? So we don't super care about the code, but that's the code on the email, and then we want to return the OK email. So in our login controller, here we get a token, we get an email, we put that in the session, and then we redirect. But before so something we can do here is just task start doesn't really matter. We just broadcast a pub sub or phoenix.pub sub broadcast familiar pub sub. And let's see, the topic should be authenticate magic token. And the message authenticated. Don't think we need anything more than that. No, exactly. So then this one needs to actually, we actually need to check that we get the right results. So we can do this for now, because this should very rarely fail. So if this doesn't match, it will just crash, which is fine. So let's see if I try to do that. It's sending an email, and then I open that link and it says authentication failed. That's disappointing. So if I do familiar and I grab this one, so that's giving me authentication failed. When doing ets.whereis magic strings undefined. Surprised? Yeah, okay. So we can assume that the token was never created, which is not how it's supposed to go. Got table. And now when we do that, so 1005, 456. Okay, they're working with different tables. Right. I think I need to make it public. This is one of those gotchas with setting up an ETS table. So what does it mean for a table to be public? Any process can read and stuff. So currently we're just making it the set and it's not public. So let's send the flying public. Try it again. Am I misthinking something? Just restart it. So that's doing no route found. It's somewhat more surprising because that route existed a moment ago and I did not remove it. So magic login. login controller. I think this lines up well. Oh, there's a slash in the token. That's no good. That's no good at all. Did it actually generate with a slash? That's bad. Can't have that. Since this is just a random string but which doesn't have much meaning, we can replace slashes with dots. It doesn't super matter. And there we're getting this again. Okay. So maybe I need to make this a name table. Right. It's like I think I always use these flags whenever I end up using ETS. But it's not like I ever remember them. Okay, so now I think the login flow actually worked end to end. So if I... Yeah, and on those video conferencing questions, I put some links in the chat, by the way. I'm not sure if that was obvious. So here's, we have a session cookie. Cool, cool, cool. Let's not make a big deal out of that, but let's make it visible somehow that we do have the session information. So feed live. So here we're getting this session information, but we should also get, so oh yeah, I should probably make a specific list for this live stream. That's a good idea, making a playlist. But you can also find it just in the list for Elixir, since they're all coming in a sequence because I'm doing this during my vacation. And then they're always posted on the u.io at some point. But yeah, I should probably add an additional playlist for these. Oh, let's see. So we just print out the email somewhere. I just want to see that we have it. We don't. Why don't we have it? So let's see. So that sets user email. Login controller sets user email. So what are we getting here? Inspect the session, see what we have. Where did my terminal go? There. Okay, so it's a string. That's fine. I don't care about this logged in because we actually boot you out earlier if that's not the case. But these two are good to have. Don't think I do additional things with this. Okay, there we have it. Cool, cool, cool. And rather than just randomly showing you this little piece of info, I'll throw this up here. Oh, there we go. And it just gives you a hint that you're logged in and that's who. And currently, we will let any old email log in. So actually, let's see that in action. So if I clear this, refresh, no function class matching in. All right, right. Can't do that. Well, I can. I'll just have to do it like so. And then I don't need to check this. Where am I? No, this is no good. That's not where I was gonna do that change. Feed live. So let's take this, just make a copy of it. But actually this should not be doing. This should not be reached. So let's see, router. All right, so that's feed live, and feed live needs to do a redirect when there's no authentication. Rather than rendering. So redirect. So socket to router helpers. Login path, I think. Index, something like that. I can never remember the damn Yeah, okay, so familiar web router help. Okay, maybe I can just do this. I can never remember how they do those. Undefined function, login path. Login path. All right, also needs the socket. There we go. So now this is, if there's no matching session, it will just redirect you. But if I'm foo at bar.baz, hit enter. Well, it will fail to send the email. It will still generate the email. So I guess okay, so if I fail with a valid email, so let's do hello it will log me in with that, which is not really the plan. I feel like this is Chrome is annoying me. All right. So this system, I haven't built users into it yet. So that's sort of the next step. Adding users. So I think we'll commit some of the stuff we've done. Working basic magic email. Oops. No users though. So start that back up. And I don't really want to do user counts in the normal sense, so I'm going to be aiming for having publishers and subscribers. We'll see how I like that in the long term. So a publisher, that's field email string default. Require email to exist on a publisher. You know what? I'll make a damn near copy of this, which is called a subscriber. So there are two types of users, those that get to log in and consume, and those that get to log in and take part. field name. I think it's beneficial to be able to name your things, since that's not something we'll index on or anything. Right. Validate unique. No, maybe we don't have to do that. Okay, subscribers. Let's not rename publishers to subscribers. Subscribers. Cool, cool. Now we add a migration. Actually, mixecto migration, add publisher and subscriber. And if you're watching and haven't said hi in the chat, please do. I'd like to know that there are people around. And all questions are very welcome. About what I'm doing, or about Elixir in general, or about how the weather is here. It's all good. So, mixecto migrate. This should get me the fields, but it didn't. Table publishers. Because I'm a little bit silly. There we go. That should get us there. Yeah, already exists. Okay. There we go. And start the server again. Go there. I wiped all the data. That's fine. For development. Hey, Rabbisfoot. It's pretty good. It's been very warm to the extent that it was slightly unbearable, and now it's much milder, which I like. But it's also nice that the weather isn't crap, because it absolutely can be here. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a little. Let's see. I want a simple little function just to register a subscribe or a publisher, because I need a publisher to bootstrap any other type of user in the system. And thanks for asking. How's the weather over there? So that's my rough and tumble registration function for this. Okay. So that should give me a single publisher. Let's make login actually consider these things when letting people in. So when we request an authentication email, right, this should be link equals router.helpers. Login URL, I think. Right, familiar web router.helpers login URL, and if I do need a con or an endpoint, I can give it an endpoint. So familiar web.endpoint, and I want the login action, and I want to pass, let's see, router token. Foo. Would expect some map, then let's do token foo. What? I'm a little bit confused. That seems weird. That. Oh no. Silly me. It wants foo. There. See, that way is a much more reliable way of generating the link. So let's do it that way. Oh, yeah, back to the weather thing. When it both sort of rains, but it doesn't clear out the stickiness of the air, that's rough. You really want a good sort of thunderstorm unloading everything and then things becoming cool for a bit. That's how rain should work. Okay, so now we're generating the link nicely, but we're still not verifying that the user actually exists. So familiar.repo get, so let's actually I don't want to do that. I did not make emails unique. That's actually an issue. It really should be. Ecto create unique index. I don't remember. should be it. And I can do a reset, and then I can do this. And then no, Johan, I'm not using Phoenix Gen Auth. It didn't end up that way. I was thinking of doing it, but since I knew I was going to be doing email magic link only, no passwords, I ended up just not pulling in that and getting all the code it generates. Some of that code I will be tearing my hair out just because I have to now either copy or retype. So, for example, editing your profile, just making those forms, don't care for it. But I think the way I want to do auth is peculiar enough that it wouldn't give me all that much to use the gen auth, especially since I sort of know how to do all of this stuff already. So that ended up not being the case. Now, familiar repo get, that will give me a nil if it doesn't exist. In which case, well, we should just do this. So familiar.repo.get, familiar.publishing.publisher email. And if that's a nil, we just do essentially a repeat, but with actually not subscriber. User and if this now user do true. This can't be done much more tersely, but I actually like explicit things fairly much. This one I'm not so sure about though. Can I do that? Oh, that's yank. Yank. Hey, Steven. Ashutosh. Okay, I thought you were adding to the PETAL acronym. Just adding an Ashutosh at the end. But no, yeah. Steven catching up with the chat, answering the question. In text, even. Things good with you, Steven? I hope so. No, you're staying busy. All right. So now I have a thing where I can check if a user exists. Perfect. That's probably good. And so then this should probably be able to fail. So let's make this one capable of failing. So if user exists, email do. Yeah. Good but busy. I recognize that kind of life. It doesn't have to be very bad. Sometimes people are like, oh yeah, if you tell them it's good but very busy, they're like, oh. Like, no. I mean what I'm saying. It's good, but I'm also very busy. I'm doing things I enjoy, but I have a lot of them to do. Or like, we had a kid recently enough that we're always busy, and we will be very busy for a few years now. I don't regret having a kid just because I feel busy. So we're checking that this is okay, and otherwise we return the error. Now I need to figure out where did I use this. So now this one can fail, but we don't actually need to. We should handle that case. So let's do a result there and case result do. Okay. Magic token. Yeah, so this is a live view, so I could just yeah, so let's communicate this problem back to the user in the tersest way possible. So, not spending a lot of time off the golden path right now. This needs styling too, but so this should output nothing if it's fine. Foo at bar the bass. That one should not exist. Oh, right. That's not how that one works. I should do a get by here, not getting by email. There's so much that's convenient about Ecto. I'm also always a little bit at war with Ecto. Okay, recompile. Where's magic? Why doesn't it recompile magically? There we go. So that went through. That's not correct. And also it's doing weird stuff. So let's see. If the user exists, if invert your eyes. That's what they say, right? Sometimes you flip your booleans and then everything's on the floor. Now, I also saw that it's building this terrible magic login link, which tells me I'm doing something wrong. This is the magic string. Boo boo boo. That one. Okay. So I would expect this to show a small unstyled error message. No? No recompile? Okay. Try again. Try again. So now it asked publishers and looked for subscribers, and then it didn't do actually anything, which is an improvement. Which means it didn't proceed, which I think is good. So, what happened here? Oh, right. This always gets me. Always gets me. User not found. That's enough of an error message for this use case right now. And if I've registered my thing, that should be this. And now I'm logged in. And now I think, so this one will look for that. And it should be able to just get, so. Actually, this particular thing, I'm going to want not sure to live here, but hey, I'm not picky right now. So then we have this user email in the sesh. It's in the sesh. And if that exists, we can just get user. That could go from familiar authentication to get user email. This publisher equals that should do it. So now I'm a publisher. Then we can actually show some of the stuff we built previously here. So now I uploaded a small video. Can save that. It's uploaded. It hasn't transcoded yet, which is being done right now in the background. So if we keep an eye on this view, it should eventually produce a video for us. So it says it generated the thumbnail, temp thumbnail file 9.jpg. And this is a small-ish video. So transcoding it takes a little bit of time. And there it is. So we can see here that it log generated transcode to temp full file line.mp4, and then it sent a playable event which LiveView picks up and shoves the video where it should be. We can also go edit this. Actually, that's a bug. I can't click the edit field because the video is on top of it somehow. That's weird because it's not actually on top. Okay, not going to fix that right away, but let's add some pictures. Nicely thumbnailed. Let's publish this sucker. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Next steps would be to be able to invite new readers and new publishers potentially, but primarily new readers. So let's go to hero icons and see if we can find an icon for that. Add invite user add. That's what I had in mind. This is probably a new view though. Yeah. So I've been thinking about doing a thing when you're a publisher. So that you just have a div that's a dark top bar. So top 0, left 0, right 0. And if you haven't seen this kind of CSS usage before, this is Tailwind. Age roofs, let's just say 4 to start with. BG black. Text white. Okay, so that's a small bar. It's going to need to be higher. Probably higher. Okay. Maybe even sticky. Very top though. I want it very, very at the top. No, it's being placed underneath there. Fixed. Don't think that'll help, right? Will it? Okay, yeah, it will. So Z index 1 is not a thing in Tailwind. What's up with this video? Okay, all my media has a Z index of some sort, I think. And that is gonna screw with me. So let's just take a quick look. It has a Z10. Let's just Z20. And let's find that edit button and just add that class too. So maybe I can hit it. Yes, it works now. Okay, so this black bar, not there just for fun. The idea, I should probably add a spacer as well. This could be margined, but this is somewhat easier. No? Right. No. Whoa, that's not. What did I do now? caused this particular collapse. All right, there we go. We're soon to be done, but I have been wanting to add some of these things. Hold on, I need to... Actually, we might as well cut the stream there. Thank you for watching. I have a phone call apparently, and we're just about done. So have a good one. Talk soon.